money and no
Just
matter
like
what,
how we
no matter what, we have our voice.
So I'm saying if we don't have the money, why are we wasting time with the plans? Why not just deal with it? But we have to leave the argument. But two things for you to think about again. One, you brought it up, integrated, that we human beings are not differentiated from the biodiversity, and that if you affect one, you're going to affect the other. So if you affect the biodiversity, you're going, how does this happen? Think about that. But the other thing that is coming up, which is another thing you want to reflect on, is what they call ecosystem services. The value of ecosystems. Ecosystems have an intrinsic value, and you can actually cost that value. So you can cost out the value of, say, a mangrove in terms of protection. You can cost out the effect of a nice wooded forest in terms of tourism and ecotourism. So whole idea of ecosystem services, and that climate change will impact that, and you should be able to cost out what the impact will be. But anyway, another thing to reflect on. So some good thoughts there. 4, isn't climate change just all a myth? Aren't we just in a warm natural cycle? Does it matter?
No.
The Republican question. All right. Let's hear what they say.
The first aspect of the question is climate change just all a myth? No, it's not just a myth. There are clear evidence and statistics that proves that as climate change, we as humans and the entire environment has to change. We have to learn to adapt and evolve as climate change changes. Also,
so you're saying it's not just warming temperatures, you see other things happening that
yes.
support the fact that this
yes.
is changing.
And
right.
Also, aren't we just in a warm natural cycle? No, because if it was a cycle, we'll be able to go back from where we are now to the beginning of the Ice Age, and that's not happening.
Well, it wouldn't happen now. It would happen 20,000 years from now.
Based on modules and predictions and up-to-date technologies, it is predicted, and is there evidence to point to the fact that it's getting worse, that the carbon continues to rise and gets higher and higher. And,
so you're saying the scientific evidence is such that we can't explain the kind of warming we see unless we include the human factor in it?
Yes.
All right, reasonable.
And, also, the entire climate change and everything is not just a natural thing happening right now, because due to human activities, it is proven that it has increased and drastically increased more based on human activities, because we're cutting down trees and burning trees and factories and everything that has to carbon production more, that widens the ozone layer and everything, and then you have melting of the ice,
glaciers and the thermal expansion.
The whole temperature rise that causes more hurricane and more drastic damages to the lands and the entire
So it matters, you are saying?
Yes, it does.
All right. So anybody disagrees?
Sir, yeah. I don't really disagree, but wasn't it just a couple of years ago they was talking about global cooling? And the science at the time did back that up.
I don't know about
Not couple, but you know about it, sir. You know about it. In your lifetime, sir. In your lifetime, sir.
I don't know about this global. But alright, so something to think about here is that, well, there are skeptics to climate change, and the skeptics probably have some good points and some good arguments. I think the question I'm asking you, does it really matter? One of the things that, so for example, as a climate change scientist, anywhere I speak, somebody gets up and says, you know, climate change is a natural cycle. We're just going through a natural cycle. And so I answer just like how you answer in the first instance. The second instance is, well, does it really matter what is causing the warming? If you agree, if you think it's a natural cycle and I say it's human induced, we have to deal with the impacts anyway, because it's still a warming, and the warming going to cause the sea level rise and the sea level rise and the hurricanes, etc., etc., etc. So if you don't want to agree with me, that's fine. You know, agree with your natural warming if you would like, but we still have to deal with the consequences. The only thing you are doing is that you are taking away, ascribing who it is due to, and you are saying, therefore, that the developed countries don't need to pay You know, you're really telling them, you're getting them off the hook because you're saying it's a natural thing. I don't believe it. They must be off the hook.
I did do
Alright,
sometimes.
running out of time. Question 5. Is there such a thing as justice for the environment?
I go get the neighbor and tell her that it's coconut oil.
And you question, you say,
I
what does
just
this have to
laughing
do
like,
with climate change?
that's sucker. But she did plan for tell her about it. But then she forgot to.
I'll give
And she
one
almost cooked with it.
my partner here will be
Alright, yes.
She almost cooked with it.